University Faculty of Commerce, Political Science Department, Dr. اشرف, Sengor, Public Administration, the second session. So basically, I explained this before, but just what I'm doing today, I'm trying to refresh your mind about my previous lectures, just to have it. Keeping in mind, all of these slides and materials are pretty protected by the copyright. So I'm warning all the centers, masters who are working on these subjects or trying to extract my materials. All of this material is really protected by the copyright, and I'm going to file a suit against anyone. Some names, just across to around my my area. I heard Mr. Islam, Zaki, a lady, I don't remember these names. Garrahi, I don't know the Wa'il or Ra'id or what with these names. So I'm warning all these guys, coming close to my stuff is gonna be very crucial for your career, for your future in your work, and I'm gonna to file a suit against all of you once you touch my materials. And I'm warning also all of my students, please leave their groups, don't stay in touch with them. The exam, I will write my exam, it's a written exam, so don't play games with me. Just submit your academic activity as we have that system through the school website, YouTube, PowerPoint presentation. So first of all, if I would like to introduce or make a kind of introduction to public administration, public policy, as we explained before in my class, define public administration, of course, study of government decisions and actions. So we need really to make that kind of comparison between decisions and actions and see where the gap, it's really shrinking the gap or widening the gap. So we need really to see that. Official policy, of course, provide a guidance to government over a range of actions and provide mutual accountability links between the government and its citizen. Every policy has three key elements: problem definitions, goals to be achieved, and the policy instruments to address the problem and achieve the policy may be formal or informal. Policy can be either positive or negative, and the government can choose to act or choose not to act. Government can either prohibit or force its citizens to act, like coronavirus now. The government really forced all Egyptian people to follow the orders, stay at home, keep distance, what we call it now, social distance, to protect the society. Look into that kind of evaluation of public administration over time. I said that before, this is kind of readings, so I do recommend all of you guys just through all of that 5 stages. Start with politics, administrations, principles of administrations, era of a challenge, crisis of identity, public administration perspective. So this is this is kind of really, I would name it history of public administration. First stage was founded by Woodrow Wilson. View of politics administration. People we're fed up with government and it is various policies. Like some policies try to fix the corruption, some policies try to fix the spoil system, and النظم العاطبة prevailed in the bureaucratic framework. So this is one of kind of a challenge to do that. Second stage, administrative theory, was marked at the same favor of reinforcing the Wilson view of public administration, and I called him the father of public administration. Third stage, evaluation and theory of the theory of public administration is known at the era of challenge because the above mention of principles and iron gauge mechanistics view of administrative and workers were a challenge. The new stage, this is pretty matching what we are doing now. Crisis of identity stage is set that late 20th century, where many parts marked a debate for return of values, ethics of public administrations, cross-culture, cross-national study of administration. The word public simply means practice of administration in a segment of the study that of public sector. Public sector different than private sectors. Remember, there is a kind of a difference between public administrations, public management. Still, I'm critiquing the title of your course about public management. Actually, we need really to change that in next curricula for the school. We need easier to name this subject as public policy or public administration. Definition of public administration, we mentioned about that before. Government chooses policies, kind of course of actions to achieve the government and state goal, either informal or formal. Public administration rooted in strong states traditions. If you have state good, strong traditions, it means that can really take your state to the right path. Failure of the states depend upon how efficient public officials implement policies. If I have some decisions and I fail to implement this kind of decision, means that is a very weak government, so I can't really handle all the activities to achieve the goals and objectives of each government. لازم الدولة يا جماعة والحكومة بتكون من القوة بمكان انها تقدر تنفذ السياسات الموكل اليها ان تنفذها من رئيس الجمهورية او من السلطة التنفيذية. وده الوضع كان باين جدا الفرق بين فترة مبارك وفترة الرئيس السيسي، باعتبار أن الحكومات الآن المتعاقبة في فترة الرئيس السيسي يعني هناك تغير في الأداء وفي الكفاءة بشكل واضح جدا. What is policy? يعني a distinct path of action which is suitable for pursuit of desired goal to follow the decision makers' desired goals within a context directing decision making of an organization or individual. Who makes public policies? Of course, the elected officials. People already made their decision to vote for person A, person B, person C, and these guys are responsible of some of the policies and programs. They should really execute all that policies over time. What is policy framework? As broad set of policies, forms and impact in new policy development. What is public administration cycle? Problem emerged, placing the problem on the government agenda to find a solution, a formulation of various alternatives. اختيار بين بدائل متعددة تم تشكيلها to resolve the problem, the adoption of a policy. اختيار السياسة المناسبة and في الآخر تنفيذ السياسة, the implementation and evaluation of the policy, either it's good or bad. Who is involved in public cycle? government, cabinet مجلس النواب، public servant الخدام المدنيين اللي هم البيروقراطيين، أجهزة الدولة المختلفة، political parties الأحزاب السياسية، interest group أصحاب المصالح وجماعات الضغط. And I think the English is very simple that everybody can really catch up every word. Of course, we have some kind of relationship between public administration and other science, and I explained that before in your lectures, and I think the English is pretty easy. So basically just read and remember, because this kind of relationship between public administration and public management, and this is very important, that can really know what does mean management is usually middle level authority. Administration is usually top level authority. So you can see that kind of difference between public management and public administrations in terms of business of the organization or relationships among employees. That kind of difference is very important, and I really please focus on this slide. It's very important. The relationship between public administration and political science is very important too. Political science examines the state public policies, governs, and revealing intellectuals believe the administration is influenced by what? Political ideology of the states, your culture, democratic system, capitalism, socialism. All of these guys can really shape your regime in terms of adopting such a policy or adopting a mixed economy trend or belief. The difference between public administration and political science, please complete that. In terms of fundamental two comes methodology. Political science involve the creation of policy and strategy. Public administration involve implementation. So politics, policy maker create the policy, while public administration guys implemented the policy, like bureaucracy and so on. Business administration, public administration, just read it. Administration and economics, just read it. I explained that before, very easy. Psychology and public administrations. Sociology also. In English, I think you can really find that kind of, statistics, laws, and public administration. Statistics and public administration, very simple English. Ethics, and they're important. Once you have that kind of ethics, mean that you can really apply and implement all the policies within the framework of ethics and morals and morality. And this is very important for executing a kind of policy, avoiding corruptions, bribery, personal gain. يعني الناس بتحب ساعات تحقق مصالح الشخصية من شغلها، وده بالرشوة بالفساد. The challenge is not only for your home country but all over the world, even the United States, China, Russia. So it's very common. Moving to decision-making theory definition. Decision-making theory is the theory of how a rational individual, irrationality, العقلانية, should behave under risk and uncertainty. Decision-making means adoptions and application of rational choice. And this is actually part of understanding, the field of economics. Decision-making and pure science of politics. Of course, decision-making part of political science, adopting, evaluation, normative analysis, politics, because today's normative approach to the study of politics was considered scientific political phenomena, and the concepts were evaluated in the background of norms, المبادئ والقيم, normative values and norms which could win the test were considered scientific. Decision-making process is really important because it's really associated with what? Kind of rationality, empirics, application of other scientific methods. This is why we need theory consistent to get a right outcome. Why decision-making matter for every state? Matter because political action is really behind a guy who he or she is acting in terms of making that decision for the society, for a human being, for people. I'm trying to therefore to study the society of the management of department. It is necessary to analyze all the aspects of policy making. This is very important to learn how to present your PowerPoint. The way that is, can really understand the materials and trying just not to read like a dumb. No, you need really to explain and understand what you are studying and what you are reading. Analysis of policy making process also helps us to acquire a comprehensive knowledge. The good guy in terms of executing policy, he or she should really learn, get information, to have that kind of wider and broader vision about the dynamic of society. Knowledge about the dynamic of society requires what? Formulation of future policy, comprehensive social management as a composed decision, تجمع العدد من القرارات التي تكون هذا القرار must be made, and this cannot be done with the formulation of decision. Situations, factors, element, process, personal or person of all to be brought under what umbrella, and this is a decision. So this is a nice paragraph, can really give you what does mean decision making in terms of understanding the whole process of decision making. Factors actually influencing decision making. There are many factors. First, internal setting of your society include many elements, especially socializations has an important part of this. Kind of good culture, kind of common people, corporations, they have some kind of good values to improve their society, moving from primitive society to civil society. There is external setup setting, or that means that we need really to know more about the international system. A state is not really isolated, so we need really to understand the new trend of society, like the external setup of setting for public administration, like contain coronavirus is not only about Egypt crisis, it's not about the US crisis, it's all over the world. So we need really to understand that kind of agenda setting for all government all over the world. All of them now, they are really talking one common phrase, one common words. Last slides for today. The decision making is process and passed through what number of states? The purpose of policy making is to there is all these kind of structure and their function. Not only that, the purpose of all decisions, كل الأغراض والأهداف لأي قرارات is to make it suitable, المناسب, الملائم, all the structure for your country, that you can really execute your goal and achieve your goals. This is through what? Function for change situation. We are living in dynamic states, living in dynamic society. If so, the decision maker must see that the structure and organization are doing their duties, not just be lazy, not just be like relaxing, and must consider what changes are required, bring about improvement. You need to improve your quality of service, improve your performance as a government, as the people, as the organization, and that function aspects of political and other institutions. Thank you so much for today. Second year, I'm still warning you guys, you didn't really submit all my requirements for your exam, and keep in your mind academic activities in terms of this subject, public administration, commercial law for second grade, and we have also انتساب وانتظام بالنسبة للتجارة العربي في الكوميرشال لو، عندنا برضو التجارة الإنجليزي political science، وعندنا انتساب وانتظام في political studies or political science. يعني I'm warning all of you guys, you should really follow my presentation, follow my YouTube channel through the school, read my presentation well. And I'm warning again, all these guys, Zeki, Karrahi, Wael, Wara'id, Islam, and all the names just across, my mind. And please, I'm warning you, this is really protected by the property rights, حقوق الملكية الفكرية. أنا لو لقيت ورق متلخص لهذه المحاضرات, you guys will be in trouble. As you are in trouble, just stop that and leave this business. Is not your business. It's none of your business. You don't have a PhD in my field. You are not part of this school. You are not part of this university. So be careful, because you're gonna be hurt, significantly. And my hurt or your hurt, I'm sorry, will not be simple. So just be careful. Just do your work. لو انت مدرس في تجاري ولا مدرس في مدرسة او مالكش شغلانة, دور على شغلك. ما تقعدش تقول كلام للطلبة it's not true, وتحاول ان انت تقترب باغراء طلاب, سواء كانوا في كلية تجارة, اتحاد طلبة, كلام كتير بدنا نسمعه. تدخلوا نفسكم في بيزنس ان انتوا تعملوا الفان دايز وتعملوا الجرادويشنز. كل الكلام ده لازم توقف, لان انا يعني ما كنتش فاكر ان الظاهره بقت بيج, ويمكن بانت لما حصل طبعا ان احنا مع السنترز والمراكز الخاصه والدروس الخصوصيه والعك ده اتقفل, فبدينا نشوف قصص وحكايات رهيبه جدا وادعاءات بان انتم موجودين في الجامعه وانتم اللي بتنجحوا الطلبه وبتقابلوا الدكاتره. عيب 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 الكلام ده. تجروا بمستقبل الولاد, تجروا بافكارهم وهم لسه شباب صغيرين. فانا بقول لكم I'm warning you, we were gonna to execute a very iron policy against all of you. Be careful. This is your message, and my message to my students, just keep studying hard, stay at home, enjoy the rest of the day, and good luck for all of you guys. Expecting kind of a tsunami of many presentation coming soon. Thank you so much for your listening, for your participation, and I'm still giving my support for all students, particularly females, acting very well. I'm very happy about their performance. So keep yourself up, doing your work, and very welcome to answer any questions, and enjoy the rest of the day. And great to see your accomplishment, your performance really is awesome. Thank you. Bye bye. Dr. اشرف, Singher. Bye guys.